respected principal, PTA president, secretary of the school, management committee, teachers, parents and my dear friends. I am here to deliver my sincere thanks to all of you who have made this function of preview showing of Mahamudi a unique one. Actually, this is the very first effort from the part of teachers producing a study material of this kind in English for the betterment of same with the participation of both teachers and students. I hope to find similar works in the coming future from the part of both teachers and students. Let me convey my sincere thanks to all who have become part and parcel of this great function on the behalf of PTA, management, students and teachers of this institution. First, let me convey my sincere thanks to our respected principal who has presided over this function. Thank you, ma'am. Then I convey my heartfelt thanks to our PTA president who have inaugurated the preview showing of Mahamudi. Thank you, sir. Then my sincere thanks to Mr. Divagaran, secretary of the school, management committee, Jose Matthews, our academic head, Remalikutti teacher staff secretary, Mr. Unnikrishnan sir, our former principal, Shaji sir, SRG of the school, Srimati Padmakumari senior assistant who have delivered the felicitation. Thank you all of you. Then my heartfelt thanks to all the teachers who have shaped and submitted this study material to us. Then my sincere thanks to all the non-teaching staffs, parents and all my friends of both high school and higher secondary who have made this function a great success. Thank you. Mahamudi is the story of a king who ruled a portion of central Kerala towards the end of the 15th century. He was a Saivite who believed in Lord Shiva. He was dethroned by Guru Kumana, a Vaishnavite who believed in Lord Vishnu. But now the majority of the people seem to believe in the trinity of Hinduism, the creator Brahma, the preserver Vishnu and the destroyer Shiva. But how Mahamudi was made to dethrone by Guru Kumana is not mentioned. It is left to us. So we have to guess that Guru Kumana might have trapped Mahamudi in a similar way that was applied by Vamana to trap Mahabali. Instead of sending him into the underworld, Guru Kumana might have asked Mahamudi to lead a life of an ascetic in the forest. However, Mahamudi set a great knowledge about the history of the world. He talks not only about the great Rajaraja of 11th century, but also about Pithias of 1st century BC of ancient Greek.
Mahamudi is also presented in such a way to foresee the future of Kerala. He gives clues about the arrival of Vasco da Gama and the British. He also mentions about the influence of English and the adoption of Western educational system in our country.
By mentioning the Madhvacharya of 12th century, who is said to be the great Vaishnavacharya, who is also said to have introduced the triple court system among the priests, he proves himself to be a strong Saivite opposing the entry of Vaishnavite into his country.
If it is so, he should allow the Kannappan either to kill Guru Kumana or to drive him away from the land. But he asked Kannappan to accept the arrival of Guru Kumana like that of the arrival of natural calamity.
This shows his ability to foresee the inevitable incidents of the future. He broken-heartedly says that time has come to a thrust, changing their beliefs. Moreover, Mahadeva gives power to peep into the future, only to those who will submissively accept it. This all shows that he is also a fatalist, who is ready to accept the future with all its trouble.
Mahamudi foresees incidents like Guru Kumana's followers keeping the holy scriptures for themselves, having favorable corrections in them and not allowing others to read them. By mentioning this, he foresees the denial of formal education and Sanskrit learning to the lower class by the upper class that was actually even in practice from the first half of the 20th century. Here we have to think about Dr. Ambedkar, who burned Manusmriti in 1938 because of his excessively favoring the upper class and ruthlessly justifying the great injustice done to the lower class by the upper class people.
That was why he asked Guru Kumana to impose strict instructions concerning the do's and don'ts on his followers. All these things help us to conclude that when Mahamudi ruled, there was no caste system that segregated people into different groups. It might be the contribution of Guru Kumana's men.
Yes, in the time, shepherds might have had priests in their family, only they had to learn the rules and practices of priests. But after Mahamudi's dethronement, caste system might have created different types of problems that might have deep-rooted in the society.
Anyhow, Mahamudi might have smelt in danger in what Guru Kumana was going to do. It might be the reason why he asked Guru Kumana to allow the people freely to convert themselves to Islam and Christianity. If they didn't want to accept the ideology of Guru Kumana, the conversion of Christianity might have continued till 1922. It was in that year the converted Christian women conducted a march after covering their breasts. Here we have to think about the pathetic conditions of the lower class people who had to convert themselves to Christianity to cover their chest.
Apart from this, one more reason is also mentioned for their converting themselves into a Christianity. It was Ponnappan who was saying that he and his men were freed from living their fertile land on the riverside to Gurukumana's men as they had converted themselves into a Christianity.
However, he warns even Ponnappan by saying that his followers shouldn't give second position to those who would convert themselves to Christianity in the following centuries.
Thus, Mahamudi makes Ponnappan realize that there is also possibility that his followers may consider themselves as superiors to others who would accept the Christian faith later in the coming centuries.
That's the reason why Mahamudi asked Ponnappan to teach his followers that when Mahamudi ruled this land, all their ancestors and all the ancestors of other people of other religious faiths were of one group with one faith worshipping one God.
Mahamudi's words are timely and apt when he says, whatever shapes or no shapes you want to give to your God, whatever language which you use to pray your God, it doesn't matter. If you pray God sincerely, if your prayer is for your good and the good of others, it will definitely be accepted by the God.
Yes, these words are apt to our land, where people of different religious faith live together peacefully. Moreover, Mahamudi demands at the end that there won't be any disputes or quarrel in between the people of a different religious faith on the name of God. He was very specific about it.
Thus, Mahamudi proved himself to be the greatest king that once lived here. He loved not only the people who had lived here then, but the people who will continue to live in the days to come. So it's our turn. We should prove ourselves to be worthy to live in this secular land by respecting all other religions, by protecting all other religious faiths, and by preserving all other religious ceremonies. And at the same time, he should be vigilant enough not to allow anyone to destroy the religious harmony that exists in our country from the time of Mahamudi.
The drama Mahamudi that was shown to us today in our school was written and acted by our teachers. So, it is strange from the place that I have seen and read earlier. It was a story of a king who lived in Kerala 500 years ago. The words and deeds of Mahamudi touched my heart. He was a king who treated all his people equally. Actually, he was a king like Mahabali. So, when he ruled, he never allowed any race or communities to claim that they were superior to others. The position of women was also comparatively better during his time. He was of the opinion that since Lord Shiva had given half of his body to Parvati Devi, all should give half of their body, mind and soul to their life partners. Actually, I have understood only now why wives are called as better halves. Apart from this, he had a broad mind to consider all religious faiths equally. So, he didn't fear the entry of other religious faiths into his country. If we turn the pages of history, we can't find any other ruler having religious maturity to believe that all sincere prayers will definitely reach God, no matter whatever the methods of prayers, its language, etc. So, sincere religious faiths should be encouraged even it is a religion that we may not belong to. As our country is a secular one, every one of us should think like Mahamudi concerning other religious faiths. In my opinion, that is the only way to establish a safe and easy and a safe way to establish religious tolerance and harmony among us. The words of Mahamudi still echo in my mind. Whatever